Get crucial.
I think it's over though.
He say, hungry, hungry, bacon, bacon.
And you say it's called Stranger, right?
Oh, word.
All right,
I'm
Stranger. There you
hungry,
go.
hungry. I need some bacon.
I don't play no games, but if I do, it's GTA, catch a fade. Pull up, shoot you in your face, NBA. Come lose your money on some 2K. In the way, if it ain't PS5, can't get the time of day. Mortal Kombat, you pick whoever. I got Johnny K. Copy now. You want some more? Gaming Lounge, though.
You can get crucial, real tough, kid. So when I put you in the sky, you ain't woke, but you up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch.
All right, what up, y'all? We back finally, and you know we about to get right into this. And what you looking at right there is Saint Nicholas, and what we about to do is check out a video going through some human history, and then eventually get into the history of Christmas, basically. You know, this all entertainment too. This all entertainment. Remember that. Now, a quick disclaimer too. There will be mentioning of Moors in this video, and a lot of people, this information that's being mentioned is not common. It's actually suppressed heavily because it has a lot to do with actual freedom and stuff like that. But the Moors will be mentioned in this video a few times, not to be confused with the ones up in New York on the corner, you know, preaching and all that type of stuff with the Israelites and all that. And you know, they break traffic violation laws and all type of stuff. They do 100 miles per hour down to 30, and then they think they can get away with it. This ain't the Moors we talking about, all right? So get them out your head, and yeah, let's get into this though. But anybody who's spiritual could definitely resonate with what this man about to be talking about, and let's get right into it.
The reason I talked about Azabel so below, the spaces up there, the universe is down in the water, everything, because everything was always water. We are water beings, right? But there's an ether that's on the planet, which is the hot, the sun. That's the sun being, that's the solar beings that's on the planet, because we run the solar system, the Moors. That's what we're the soul ones. And everything else is our children, all we created. Everybody don't have the same, everybody's not, don't have that mortal bloodline though, the original bloodline. So just cause people look like me, that don't mean they're had a soul. They might still be a walking dead, or just a spirit. All the other gases around here walking the planet, drifting on the planet, drifting like in the water, too, drifting along. That's the little gases on the planet. We call them ghosts. There's a lot of them out here like that. So just cause everybody look, they got melanin rich and stuff, that don't mean nothing. Cause there's 3 billion hollow souls on the planet walking around amongst us. Some people making videos talking about the reptilian and trying to sell you stuff. These hollow souls, the light worker people are hollow souls. I'm watching something that's starting to get changed up now. That was talking some knowledge on that. Next, at least they doing some other crazy stuff now. Hollow souls. When you came out of your water, when you came out of your mom's womb, wait a second. In your mom's womb, in the mother's womb, which is the Milky Way womb, same thing. The womb, the Milky Way womb. When you was inside that womb, you was inside water. Right? That's the Moor thing. And when you came out the navel, you navigated your way out the navel area, the womb area. That's the navel. It's a navigational your way back through, which is Moors. It's the navigators, the Navy. That's what they call the Navy. But right now, we're not out here navigating the seas. The beast has put navies around the seas and the Coast Guard to guard us from navigating the seas again. And the Navy is destroying everything out here he sees. He don't want nothing to come back on the planet out the water. That's why he got the Navy here now. They took our science and turned it to evil. Put a Navy around for everything. But when we came out that womb, you had all the ancestral knowledge of all the planets and the seas inside that womb, because you was inside the womb in the Milky Way. But they cut your umbilical cord off. Now when they cut your umbilical cord off, because you was born, you see a baby born, you go look online and see the baby born in the water, when the umbilical cord is still there, the baby come out and start swimming in the water, just like a fish, like a mermaid, just like a merman. So they all children of the Moors. But once that umbilical cord was cut, you lost connection with the planet and the universe. And right at that moment, you started dying off too, because you came out of the water. You came out of the water and started getting dirty, filthy, started taking on these ways, and you had to get your breath. You couldn't even breathe right. And then you got used to the breath, but you thought you was really living life out here. And breath is to give you the life, but also it's killing you off. Yes, that's when you start getting old. And you start dying off because you're breathing too long, because you're too full, you're too long out of water, like the fish, the two fishes out of water too long, he start dying off. So you're calcified now. We used to have a hole on top of our head right there with a soft spot. It was a soft spot. And we used to breathe through our head like a dolphin in a porpoise. That was our connection. Now we out here, it's all closed up. And we breathing this poison air and everything, and we're dying. That's why everybody looks so old and rough. But in your gut book and all kind of scriptures, they tell you, you have to go back to being like in the mind of a child. So you have to go backwards and get clean, get your body clean, get back pure, because you're coming back into the water. That's why you love taking showers so much. You love the water so much. You love going to the beach so much. Something attracts you back to that water, the beach, that warm. Something wants you back in there. You love it. And that's what they call paradise, Florida and stuff like that. Around the Panama Canal, where that's the neighbor, that's the split, the lower self and higher self. That's that split right there. That's why the government put the Panama Canal dam there, because they dam you up. And that's the equator right there, the Panama. They damned the world right there. They damned everything up. And when you dam something up, it start getting stagnant, everything start down on the planet. I can go real deep, but let's go back. The reason they told you in your good book, even so-called Jesus or the Joshua, I'll tell you, say they call you children of the sun. They always say the children of God all the time. Why they all keep talking about this children, the children? Why everybody always children? I never heard them say the old man. The elders was the wise ones, but everything else is about being the children. So your mind has to go back to being a child again. And the child is the one that's gonna play in the water. He loves the water and stuff. He's fun, he's having fun, and he loves life. But when you get on this plane, you start breathing, you start getting, you left your childish ways, you left your imagination. So once you left your imagination, somebody else gave you an image. And that's when the magic came in there and controlled you with his images, because you lost your imagination of having love and fun and not having words and stuff. You lost all that and they blocked it up. They dammed it up. And then they start controlling your mind. They gave you a TV. Now everything's about control. They controlling you. The Zionists, because they took all your ions inside your blood and gave you the ion. They the Zionists, because they're projecting your images out here now through a TV. They gave you the TV called plasma. It's blood plasma dealing with your blood. You think this is a game out here, don't you? I'm talking about this shit deeper than deep on some spiritual stuff. And all that occult stuff that people try to read, they ain't got a clue, because they reading the wrong books from the wrong who. They don't know who wrote it. I told you this. The best information is inside of you already. It's inside your DNA. And when you got back to nature and planted your feet, you start getting this information come right. And that's breath stuff. It's amazing. And everybody I be trying to get you to do this and do that. They took them 3,333 monks up there and put them on the Himalayas mountain to keep a certain vibration, which is a frequency over the planet to keep you on a low vibration. And y'all thought the monks were spiritual, didn't you? I told you they beasts. They might think they're doing the right thing, but they're doing it wrong. It's real talk here. At 3333, you're dealing with the male and the female. And they call it, they master numbers. They try to tell you 33 is a master number. Master of who? You can't serve with one master. But that 33 and 33, 3,333 monks that's up there doing the Gregorian chant, that's controlling over the male and female on the planet. Because they're controlling you under the 33 degrees of Freemasonry, which is on 33 degrees freezes in water. Why do they freeze in water? Because we only gave them 33 degrees of knowledge, but they just could survive. But the solar beings, the sun being, the true Christ beings, the saints that walk this planet had 360 degrees of knowledge, which is heat, ether, fire. And that's why they told us sir, which is sire. Because they know the truth. And you want to believe, and believe is believing in some lies. I'm talking actuality, factuality, not no fake reality that's scripted. You around here gonna go celebrate another holiday and put another spell on you, another curse on your goddamn ass. Talk about some Christ and Christmas and all this stuff. It was Christ Massacre, where they massacred millions of Moors across Europe. Christ massacre. Christmas. They took the Moors and put them on their same little navigational crosses and gutted them up. All from Romania and everywhere else with Vladimir Vlad or whatever, the Dracula. Moors was Christ's beings. And they massacred them. And now you finna celebrate your Christmas. Xmas out. Christmas. The soul beings, the true saints, the ones that the real enlightened beings, the so-called white lightning.
Now in this context, he's not saying a specific group is Christ beings. He's saying anyone born in a womb is technically a Moor. And if you do the word etymology of Moor, you will find out that it do got a lot to do with water. You know what I'm saying? In technicality, he talking about all y'all. And this is all entertainment. I'm not saying to subscribe to that, but I'm just giving context on what he's and how he's speaking on it.
Saint Martinez. Go look it up. Go look up Saint Nicholas. And when you look at Saint Nicholas, where they get that word Santa Claus from, he wore a green robe, just like my ancestors, or a white robe with the golden on. And he had a golden glow around his head. And he was murdered on December the 6th. But somebody came along from Saturn, lower beings that was left on the planet that came along, some evil ones, and turned everything upside down and got you to start worshiping the red again, which is the blood, which is lower chakra, which is lower self, which is demonic, the demons. And they put a fat man in a red suit. And then all that strings hanging from the Christmas trees is nothing but the blood of children guts hanging from the trees in Germany. Then the red, them bulbs, they nothing but the child bulb his head. Kill so many children and murder so many children. And you celebrate now Christmas. Every other fucking religion got together and went against the Moors because they got tired of being oppressed by the so-called black man, which was the Moor.
Now what he's talking about is the fallen Moors, because when anybody who looks up this type of stuff, you know, when you look back, anytime you look into the word Moor, you will find the word black. You're going to run into the word black. Now, most people say that means that Moors are black. Some people say that means black is Moor. You get what I'm saying? So it could go either way in the argument. You get what I mean? But when you start doing more research and stuff like that, you find out that Moor is more along the lines of what he's talking about with the water beings and the morals and stuff like that and the righteousness. But when you look into the word black, it has a lot of death attributed to it. Even in the Bible, they speak of a king Balak. And if you look up the etymology of black, it can mean bleached. And then when you look into the law terms of black and white, black actually means soulless and actually means you don't have sovereign rights. So that right there ties in right there to why that may be a curse right there put onto the righteous Christ beings. You know what I'm saying? Again, this all entertainment, not saying to subscribe to it, just giving it context.
The water being, the seafaring kings and queens. That's why all them castles are all along the rivers and stuff over there. So when you got to get back to self, when new ones come back and try to tell you to get right, there's a reason. Some of us know the truth. And we come back to grab whatever children we can, the ones who came back clean, came back into the family. You're a child, you come back to your childlike ways. You wasn't doing no drugs. You wasn't doing no weed. You wasn't doing no high. You ain't out there having no doing all the crazy sex and everything like that. You wasn't doing all this stuff when you come back to your childlike ways, because the childlike ways is not thinking about all that excess stuff that been put onto your soul. It has blocked your mind up and blocked your imagination up. You go back to your childhood ways because a child is pure. A child is purity. A child is going back to the essence of the divine spirit itself on the planet. That's the mortal ways.
Now you seeing what he's saying about the kids, right? Which is completely true. Which is also why this all entertainment and all that, but a lot of inorganic beings attack the children because that's where it's starting at. Now you see what's happening with them, and I can't even speak on it too freely like that. And it's some bullshit, YouTube punk ass bitch. But you see, the main thing they do is taking away the innocence. All right, taking away the innocent.
That's why the child is innocent. That's why I keep telling you to leave stuff alone. You detach from all that nonsense. You done it already. This is real talk. And people hate real talk. They want to believe in a lie. Your lie got to end. Everything nothing stays the same. the world spirals, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. When we was up, everybody else down, but we created that. Now it's time to go back up. The earth gonna fall down into the abyss, but only the chosen ones will stay lifted up with the fam. Everybody comes from this DNA. You know, some people ain't gonna make it. Others will come into the family and come back into the royal courts. I don't know why y'all thinking the world is just gonna continue being so evil and gonna continue like this. You got to be crazy. If you don't see it and feel the vibrations, your soul already dead. Your religion got nothing to do with this, because you don't even follow none of your religion. With your religion is dealing with astrology and astronomy.
Alright, now we're gonna come back in the next few vids that I drop with more elaboration on the Christ Massacre. I tell you what, do your own research on that, and it's hard to find that type of stuff, but if you use the keywords, searching it in and all that, you'll come up with something. You know, with this type of info, you gotta slow walk it, to be honest, because I know it's a lot of people that don't know nothing about this more stuff, but and it probably could turn some people off. You get what I'm saying? But you gotta have an open mind. This is all entertainment. It's all context. It's all, you know, it's all researchable. It's just not out in the open like all the other bullshit that they want y'all to see. All the other shit they want y'all to see, they put it out there. But how come this shit ain't nowhere to be found? You get to talking political status, you get to talking all that type of shit, and these people, they ain't, I don't know what that is. You know, you get to talking black status, white status, all that. Nobody know what it is. And the funny thing is, if you talk about a Moor to anybody, the first thing that come in their mind because of the internet is traffic violators. People that speed in traffic. Like, this what they reduce people to. You know, thinking that Moors is just these people breaking the law and all that type of stuff, man. It's crazy, though, how they hide this type of shit. Yeah, right. The ones that actually teach the law the most is the ones out here breaking it. You know the devil put that one out there. But yeah, man, about all this Christ Massacre and all that type of stuff, that's some really deep shit. We about to get into that, man, in these next couple videos. Salute to the whole gaming lounge, Jules Gaming Lounge. Salute to Showface News and everybody that been holding me down, letting people know what's up with my channel and all that, man. I want to give another shout out to Battle Truth and the Dep HNIC, man. Hope they piece they shit up. And if they don't, who care? I just hope, you know, motherfuckers can coexist. You know, this all squad shit right here, dog. So, yeah, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think up in the comments. I ain't woke, I'm up. Bitch, I ain't say that in so fucking long.
Get crucial.
I think it's over though.
He say hungry, hungry, bacon, bacon.
And you say it's called Stranger, right?
Oh, word.
All right,
I'm
Stranger.
hungry, hungry. I need some bacon.
I don't play no games, but if I do, it's GTA, catch a fade. Pull up, shoot you in your face, NBA. Come lose your money on some 2K. In the way, if it ain't PS5, can't get the time of day. Mortal Kombat, you pick whoever. I got Johnny K. Johnny K. Copy now. You want some more? Gaming Lounge, though.
It can get crucial. Real tough, kid. So when I put you in the sky, you ain't woke, but you up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch.